Hello everyone and welcome to Plugged Into Heritage. Today we are filming from the Loomcrofters studio, which was founded by Patricia Jenkins in 1939. They were known for their famous tartans and extensive product line. Today we will be showing you a weaving demonstration from one of our students, Renee Houghton. As Loomcrofters is closed for the 2020 season due to COVID-19, her project is to weave tea towels. They will be for sale soon. How do you thread the shuttle?
Well, to thread the shuttle, you would take the bobbin, you would lift up this metal part in your shuttle, you put the bobbin onto it, and then with the string going underneath the bobbin from the other side, you would take the end of your thread and you would put it through the eye of your shuttle.
And how do you start weaving?
Well, to start weaving, you press down on the treadle that is opposite of where you are. You would push that through, make sure you catch the thread to keep a little bit out so you can tuck it in afterwards. And then if you have this little end here from where I had to cut it off earlier to start a new bobbin, you just thread it in through, get your edges nicely, pull it, make sure you hold it to keep everything well and tucked in tight. And then you beat, switch to the other treadle, and you make sure you beat it really hard, or else everything's loose and it just doesn't work out well.
So how exactly does this all work?
Well, you see, when you're weaving, you have the treadles down by your feet. And so when I push down on a treadle, it moves the different harnesses. You have harness 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so when I push down on the treadle on my right, it moves 3 and 1 up. When I push down the one on my left, it moves 2 and 4 up. And once the harnesses move up, they also pull up the heddles, which are holding the strings from the warp up with them. So when I push down on one side, it lifts half them up. When I push down on the other side, it lifts the other half up. So when I'm weaving, I push the shuttle through the divided strings, I beat it together, switch my treadles, and then there, it is now tightly woven into the fabric.
Do strings ever break on your warp?
Yes, actually they do. Typically, the strings will break on the sides of your warp, but sometimes they happen in the middle, but most likely they'll break on the sides. That's what happens to me all the time.
Can you do anything to fix them?
Yeah, you just have to keep weaving for a little bit. Even though it's broken, you have to just ignore it for a little while because you need some fabric to make it so that the string isn't broken, so then you can actually interweave it back into the fabric. So then you'd have to go and you'd find the string that's broken from the back of your warp. And then once you find it, you'd have to figure out which heddle it's missing from. And each heddle has a little hole that the string goes through. And that's what makes it pull up or down depending on which treadle you pull on. So you find the one it's missing from. You'd re-thread it back through. And then you take this nice handy dandy little tool with a hook. And you push it through the reed. And they each have their own individual reed. Each string goes through a separate hole. Well, two strings go through each hole. And so you'd find the one where there's just one. You'd push it through. You'd grab your string and you'd pull it back through with you. And then with the extra fabric you've woven, you then take it and you would take a pin. You would pin just about from where it was missing from. You'd pop it through like that. And then you'd wrap the string from your warp around it, and then you just quickly seal it off so it's nice and tight and everything feels the same, all the pressure is the exact same, and then you just keep weaving.
When you're done weaving, what do you do with the string? Do you just cut it off?
Actually, yes you do. You can remove this and you'll have a little bit of extra string. And when you do, you would then just take some scissors, you would slide them along the bottom of this as you're pulling the string up tightly, and then you just snip it off, and everything's so tightly woven that it holds it all together and it doesn't even make a hole.
So how do you get the cloth off the warp?
Well, as you can see, I've only just started, but what I would do is I'd sew up the edges like I've done here to make sure that all the strings that I've just woven won't fall off and that everything will stay nice and tightly packed together. And then once it's all sewn up, you would take bunches of the warp, you'd cut it off, and then you tie a knot so everything doesn't fall back through the reeds and the heddles. And I'd continue that process all the way along this part until I was finished. And then I would unwind everything I've done. I'd get back to this point, and I would just simply cut it off. Now, I would have a little bit of the warp still sticking out because I can't quite trim it right to the edge or else everything would break. So I do have a little bit there. But what I'd simply do is you'd fold it, so you then sandwich the edges between the two pieces of your finished fabric. So you fold, and then you very simply just sew along the edge to make a hem.
What are some of the pieces that you've completed so far?
Well, right here are two that I've already finished. As you can see, there's a yellow and a green because I get to make each and every one of them a different color.
Thank you, Renee, and thank you everyone for watching. Please like and share our video, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments. We'll be sure to follow up. Connect with us via Facebook, Instagram, or our website at queenscountyheritage.com.